What kept you going when the pain was too long? Like, I want to know like the mental conversation that you would have with yourself as you were going, because I mean that's like pretty confronting for anybody. You know, most people they want to lose weight, but then they can't get over the fact that okay, actually there might be a year or two where you literally have to feel so freaking insecure about yourself because everyone else is literally shining the light that you are obese, that you are unhealthy, that you aren't in good shape, and that they almost it almost feels like they're laughing at you. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but it's this mental chatter that you tell to yourself. So I'm really curious, like on a day-to-day basis, what was like your mental chatter, and what would you speak to yourself every single time you would go ahead? Because I could assume that it's almost like two conversations. One where it's like, oh no, I can't do this. I should go back, play games because the pain is less there. And then the other one. So I want to know what those two voices were like. What was that conversation like? And how the stronger one allowed you to keep on going when things were hard and when most people would have quit.
I always felt like for such a long period of my life, and I've felt like that many times, where I've been in prison, I've almost felt like for probably 10 to 15 years of my life, I felt like I'm always doing things and that tomorrow will be the day that I can enjoy it. Because before that I was a fat dude, so I was a fat nerd. And I always felt like almost like I was in a cocoon, waiting to come out as the butterfly. And it's fucking like that, like it's a massive price that you have to pay. Like if you've let yourself get to where you're like 300 pounds, accept that you're going to be at least 1 to 2 years before you're back to like a range of where people will actually treat you like a person. A lot of times people are like massive weight and they think that they're just disrespected constantly. I remember when I was a fat dude, people don't really treat you like, they don't take you very serious. They don't treat you very well. And it's just the subtle disrespect as well. Like you'll go to work and you can just tell people, look, you never feel comfortable. I remember I'd be in public and I would just never feel comfortable. I'd have clothes on and my weight would always be changing too, like fluctuating like 10 or 20 pounds. So clothes would fit one week and then the next week they wouldn't fit so good, So I remember just being out and just always being socially uncomfortable. Just, I know now when I go out, I can wear pretty much anything and I look good. But back then I didn't really have the money that I have now. But even if I did, I was the weight where I couldn't really fit the clothes that I would have wanted. So I think that you just have to accept that you've gotten yourself in a place like this and there's going to be pain to get out. But pain for 1 or 2 years is a lot better than pain for the rest of your life. Life is generally like, that's where the fucking, like I'd say being a man of substance, the substance is built in the pain. Like it's built in the dark times. A lot of people have no substance because they're running away from the fucking pain. They're distracted. They're on fucking Netflix. They're on YouTube, but watching just garbage. They're watching crap that only reinforces the darkness in their own head. A lot of guys watch this content that is very negative. Like they'll watch a lot of red pill crap that hates women. Red pill stuff that tells them pretty much like that they can't trust women at all. Red pill stuff that tells them like half the marriages end in divorce, which maybe it's true in the West, but half the guys or more have no boundaries. They can't enforce jack shit. Like a woman can just steamroll them constantly and they can't even set a frame on the relationship. They can't even set any boundaries or like rules. And then they wonder why things fall apart. Like a lot of guys just, yeah, they just have a lot of problems. In general, I'm talking to men. Like I know that women comment on my stuff, but my stuff is for guys. It's not really catered to women. I'm only talking, yeah, predominantly to the men. I see guys, I've been in the positions that a lot of them are in. I've had times where I was sitting in prison. I was sitting on parole. I was sitting in prison for almost 2 years. I was in an army hospital for 14 months, 24 hours a day. A veterans hospital with fucking like people that have massive issues, massive PTSD. Couldn't really like do much. I was just there. And then, yeah, almost 2 years in prison. So I've had 3 years of waiting. And after that, I had nearly 4 years parole. So I've done the 7 years of waiting, and before that I was waiting because I was a fat dude. I was waiting to be in shape so that I could enjoy myself. So yeah, I've spent probably nearly 10 years of my life waiting, and now it's been waiting for a result that was brilliant. I mean, now I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm in shape, I'm fit, I have massive boundaries, I know exactly who I am. But that was a strong process of sort of accepting the pain. Like I come to sort of love the pain, because I know that I can take a lot and then I can push it out into other things. Like I can accept a lot of pain and then I can make it into things that fucking benefit me. So I never really, yeah. Once I was 20, I stopped shying away from the pain and just accepted that it's a part of life.